it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Today I am going to have some fun with the newest Pat McGrath Mothership palette. This is Mothership XI Sunlit Seduction. I just got it in the mail yesterday, the day before, something. Thankfully, my friend Tracy found us this discount code and it was pretty much like 40% off, and it came with her new Intensifies Longwear Primer. So I'm probably going to use this when I do a look. So today I'm going to do swatches, a look, and I'll make sure to compare this new one to, I think the past three or four, whatever started the pink revolution. And you want to make sure to go over to my besties, Jessa, her channel. She will have swatches on a medium skin tone, so you can see what it looks like if you have a lighter skin tone than me. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you the palette first. So it has the lovely Pat McGrath packaging. The box is always so pretty. I always actually keep my palettes in the box. Maybe that's weird. So there is that, and then let's open it. I remember getting my first Pat McGrath palette and I was just like stunned. So here is the palette. It does feel a little lighter. I think people have been talking about the packaging. Yeah, it feels a little lighter than the other ones. Let me get, excuse me, maybe let's get one of the original ones. So I'm going to take out Mothership I. Okay, no, they feel the same. I think the back is definitely different. So this is the new one. I already got fingerprints on it. This is the original, the very first one. This one seems a bit sturdier, and this is like, I think this is like plastic. So a little bit of change in the packaging. Seems less luxe. And here is the palette. I think it looks really pretty. I know that some people are upset about these 4 shades because they're not like her baked formula. Like in comparison, let me show you again the first one. So these are like really special shades, and these are a little different. But we shall see how they perform. And then again, I will make sure to compare them to the other pinky motherships. So let's do our swatches. Okay, here we go. And this is water, okay? So the palette comes with 10 shades, very much exactly like her other motherships. And we've got these 6 shades, which are sort of the regular ones, and the 4 over here are typically her special shades. So we'll see how those compare to other palettes. Let me move that brow pencil and that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop into the swatches. This first shade here is Skin Tense Radiance. So that is 2 swipes. This next shade here is Nude Rose. The next shade is Hypnotic Bronze. Astral Pink Fetish. That's got some texture to it. And Blitz Crimson Ecstasy. Yeah, so far, these have a bit of texture to them. That first row is pretty. All right, so moving on to this second row, we have Extreme Vermilion Dusk. That's a deep shade. Copper Dawn. Oh my gosh, if you watched Gilmore Girls, do you remember when they said Copper Boom? If you don't remember, don't worry about it. Sienna Mystique. Astral Amethyst Allure. And lastly, Astral Gilded Aura. Ooh. I don't even think the camera is picking this one up the way it looks like in person. In person, it's sort of gold, and I'm seeing on the camera, it looks kind of like pinkish. Let me know what you're seeing, because when I'm looking with my eyes, it looks very different. So these are all 10 shades. And maybe right here, I'll go ahead and do some swatches of the other palettes, the other like ones that are in the Pink Revolution. So let's start with that, and just give me a second and I'll get those swatches on my arm for you. So this one here is the newest one, Sunlit Seduction. And then this one here, this is Divine Rose 1. So hopefully you can see that there. Let's see if I can kind of hold them. So this one is actually, let me do it the way I just showed you. I'm sorry. Okay, so this one on top is Sunlit Seduction, and then these 10 shades on the bottom are Divine Rose 1. And then let me show you the swatches. So on this side here, that is Sunlit Seduction, and this side is Divine Rose 1. So the similarities I see are these two shades here. This one is much cooler, the Divine Rose 1 shade. This one is a bit more like, this is bronzier. There's definitely a significant difference between those two and these two. I would say these are very similar, although the Divine Rose 1 I think has a bit more of a maroon like undertone. Then these two look pretty dissimilar. These two are a little similar, but I think they're different tones. And then you can definitely see these four down here are pretty different. So let's do Divine Rose 2. So here we go again. We've got the newest one, and then we have Divine Rose 2. So let's see if we can do this. Okay. The newest one is on top, and then Divine Rose 2 is on the bottom. And here are the swatches. So these two are a bit different. The Divine Rose 2 has a like pinkier undertone. These two are a little different. I would say these three are very different. This matte here has more of that maroon undertone. And then I would say the last, well, these actually look the same on the camera, but in person, this one is more of a green duochrome. So there are the comparisons. I feel like this shade really stands out very much against the others. Okay, so I think next is that Utopian Dream, maybe? We will see, but I'm going to take this side off and do the swatches for the next pink palette. All right, next one. Hopefully you're still hanging in there. Again, new one. And this one is Utopian Dream. and let me show you the swatches for comparison. Top row is Sunlit Seduction, and this bottom one is Utopian Dream. Again, these top shades seem pretty similar. Those, I feel like those are usually like her skin shades. This shade here is a bit more, it's lighter than this one. I feel like this has more of a mauve-y look, and this has like a maroon base. These are pretty similar, I would say, on camera and like looking at it on my arm. I would say these four are different. These mattes again are pretty similar, but this one is lighter. This shade here is darker than that one, and kind of a pinky undertone, where I feel like this one is like rose gold. These two are kind of similar, just different depth. These two are very similar on camera, but I swear this one looks more bronzy in person, and then these two look pretty dissimilar. So I think we have one more. I'm gonna double check, but I know these three for sure are the pinky ones, and let me check the last one, and if it is, I will go ahead and swatch those two. All right, hang in there. Okay, hold on, let me move that. Last set of swatches, thankfully, because my arm is turning red from all the scrubbing. This, again, Sunlit Seduction, and this one here, y'all, I'm trying not to drop them. This one here at the bottom, this is Moonlit Seduction. So this was right before Sunlit Seduction. So there are those swatches, or there are those comparisons, and then here are the swatches. So like the Moonlit Seduction like does have a bit of the pinky undertone, but I feel like it's the least pink of the ones we just swatched. Divine Rose 1, 2, Utopian Dream, and this Sunlit Seduction. Let me know what you think. It could just be that my eyes are like crossing and things are just not looking the same, or they are, I have no idea. But these two are a little similar. This seems like to have more of a white or like silvery base to it. These are the two skin shows. These look a bit similar. Shoot, I'm getting shimmers on things. These look a bit similar, the two right here, two mattes. These look different to me, all six of those shades. These two look similar, but this is definitely cooler. This is a bit more gold. This one is a bit more like rose gold. This is deeper than the Sunlit Seduction one. And then I think the last four also look a bit different from one another. Whew, child. Okay, I'm gonna try to wash all of this off, maybe put some salve on my hand, my arm, and then I will do a look. Hopefully these have been helpful. So let's do a look and see how these apply on the eye. Okay, hello. Wiped everything off. You can see there's a little bit of redness. And if you can see it on my skin tone, you know it's red, girl. But that's not from the eyeshadow itself. That is from me scrubbing it off like 4 times. So that's gonna go away in a little while. Not uncommon for it to happen to me when I'm swatching a lot. So what I want to do, I'm going to do a look, and on one side I'm going to use the new primer, and then on the other side I'm going to use the Artistry wand that came out a while ago. So I saw on the James website that they suggest like using the primer for like mattes and stuff, and then I guess if you just want to use some of the shimmers, then you can use the Artistry wand. But honestly, if I'm doing a look, I'm not gonna like use both of these together. I'm just gonna use one. So I want to see how they compare and contrast to one another. This says it's in the shade Clear, and pretty much this one is clear too. This is the Artistry one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do this eye with the primer. Rose, girl, hold on. What you do? I don't believe you. I feel like you did something. I can't see it. Okay, so going in with the primer. So it has like a peachiness to it on my eye. I feel like it looks kind of patchy. It feels oily. Not in a bad way, just the consistency. So it's not sticky, but it also doesn't feel matte. So what is it then, girl? I don't know. Okay, so let's do the, no, you know what? Because I don't want that just sitting there, so I don't know if that's going to change stuff. So let me go in and try to do a look. I think I'll start with this deep shade here. This packaging does feel cheaper, honestly. I think I'll start with this shade here, and that is Extreme Vermilion Dusk. And I'm going to take this Rose and Ben brush. This is the E29. Tapping into that. That is going on very well. Typical Pat McGrath matte, I think. And it seems to be adhering pretty well to the primer. I don't see any problems with it. Gonna wipe that off. Oop. And then let's go into this shade here. Is that the one? No, I'm sorry. This shade here. That is Nude Rose. I just wiped off my brush. It's showing up as definitely a lighter, you know, a nude rose. But I will say, in comparing it to like the new Natasha Denona with the pinky mattes, this one is showing up a lot better on my eye. And I did use a primer with the Natasha Denona one. Okay, so I know people have not been happy about these shades, but actually I think I kind of like that formula. But what I'm going to do is start with this shade here, which is, which one is this one? Copper Dawn. And let's start with a brush. I know some people like to use brushes for this. And so you see that there. And then I think what I will do is tap this on top, and that is Astral Amethyst Allure. I'm going to use my finger. And then why don't we go in with the Skin Show shade. You need a brush. All right. So the Skin Show shade is this one here. It is Skin Show Radiance. And I am just going to put that in the inner corner. And why don't we put a little bit under the brow bone. Do I want to put anything else on? Yes. Let's go in with this one, and that is Astral Pink Fetish. I'm gonna use a brush and see what it does. I'm just going in really lightly. Okay, so let's go to this eye and use the Intensivize Artistry wand. I have a little bit left. And I'm used to this formula, and this feels a little bit drier than the primer, but this still has, like, it's not tacky, it just dries down. So it doesn't seem like either of her primers are, like, they're not matte and they're not sticky. So I'm just wiping off my brush and trying to remember what I did. So I went into this Extreme Vermilion Dusk first. I'm sort of feeling like the primer made it more intense. Or not, I don't know. You'll have to tell me what you think. I do feel like the side with the primer, it just sort of glided. Is that a word? Glided? Glowed? Glided. We're gonna go with that. And this feels harder to blend. And is it patchier? I feel like it's a little. Okay, and then I went into Nude Rose. So we're gonna put that here. Okay, I'm seeing a difference. I feel like things showed up better on this eye. Even as I pack this on, I feel like it's taking a bit more to get it on there, right? I don't know, tell me what you think. So I'm just gonna keep packing. Like, it's coming up. And now I'm like, is this more intense on this side? Okay, so then I think we went into Copper Dawn. Rosé child. You can't be doing that. Huh. Now I feel like this side is more intense. Ma'am. Sorry, y'all. Rosé is like rubbing against my leg. Huh. All right, so let's go into Astral Amethyst Allure. I'll keep going. And then Astral Pink Fetish. Is that... No, hold on. I did that last. I used the Skin Show Radiance shade first. So we'll put that under here. And then we'll go in with the Astral Pink Fetish. Oh. And then this again, Skin Show shade. This cat is up to something. Okay, so let me like put on some liner and some mascara, and then we'll come back and wrap it all up finally, okay? Okay, we are finally coming to the end of the video. So I finished my eyes off just with some mascara on the top and bottom lashes. I forgot to do a wing, but that's okay. And the other Pat McGrath things I put on, I am using the Divine Blush Paradise Venus. There that is. I also went in with her lip gloss in Prima Donna. Oops, sorry about that. I used her under eye setting powder. There we go. Almost done with that. Don't worry, I have a backup. And I also used her Divine Rose highlighter. I used to have Pat's foundation and her concealer. I wasn't the hugest fan of either of them. And I don't have her bronzer because I've got enough bronzer for right now. But again, let me show you the palette. Here it is. I think this palette is really pretty, and I'm actually really glad that I have it. Now, in comparison to the two, yes, I have two eyes. This side is the primer, and this side is the Artistry Wand. This has a bit more heft to it. Now, you'll have to tell me which one looks more intense. They both say intensifies. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, because when I was putting the shades on this eye, I felt like things were blending a lot easier. When I came to this eye, it felt like the Intensifies Artistry Wand was sort of like gripping the shadow a bit more, so it worked a lot better to just pack things on. But in some ways, when I first did it, I feel like this side looked more intense. When I'm looking at them now, they kind of look the same. So if they look different, oh, sorry, I thought she was doing something. If they look different to you, let me know. So again, this is the primer side, and this is the Artistry Wand side. So let me know. And okay, so I do think that this palette is similar to the Divine Rose 1 to Utopian Dream. I think it's a little different from Moonlit Seduction that came out right before it. I think that if you have any of the Divine Rose 1, 2, or the Utopian Dream, you don't need this one. I feel like it's close enough. There's just some difference, I think, in depth of color. So make sure to just like refer back to the shades, swatches that I did to kind of determine what you like. Now, I will say that I have gotten a lot of use out of Divine Rose 1 as a very like neutral, like work friendly palette. Divine Rose 2, I really do like the Sextraterrestrial shade, just like this bold like duo or multi-chrome pink. And I actually don't mind these 4 astral shades over here. I kind of like them. Dare I say a little bit better than the regular astrals. Okay, now I did get some fallout on my face, like under eyes, but I do feel like there was more fallout on the primer side and less on the Artistry Wand side. So I do think the shades were sticking a bit better on the Artistry Wand side. I cleaned it up with putting some concealer on and putting some powder on. And my arm looks pretty good in terms of no like shimmers on there, and all I did was use a makeup wipe. There's still a little bit on there, and it's still a little red, but give it, another 10 minutes and we should be fine. So I can't tell you whether or not to get this one. Pat McGrath is going to have a sale. So if you are going to get it, I suggest waiting for a sale that she's going to have one, okay? And that's if maybe you don't have the other ones, but I think she was having like a bundle sale, right? I don't know. So it's not a necessity. Of course, no makeup really is. And it is very pink, which is like her aesthetic right now. So if you have the other ones, you don't necessarily need it. If you have the other ones but want to get this one anyway, I think you'll like the subtle differences between the palettes. But if those subtle differences don't matter to you, then stick with the ones you already have. I will say that I do still think it's a little different from Moonlit Seduction in comparison to the 3 before that, which are Divine Rose 1, Divine Rose 2, and Utopian Dream. So let me know if you want more looks with this new palette. Let me know if you want more comparisons to the other palettes, the pinky ones. I don't think the palettes before those three are really going to be good comparisons because they are different color stories. But let me know what you want and I will be sure to try to accommodate. I am so sorry that this was so long, but I really wanted to give you some comparisons. Again, make sure to head over to Jessa's channel and she will have some swatches and a look on medium skin, a medium skin tone. I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Please be sure to give a thumbs up and like the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel and please leave me a comment. Let me know which side you think is more intense. Let me know what you think of the palette and if you're gonna get it. And if you saw any similarities or differences that I didn't touch on, please be sure to let us know in the comments. Whew. Thank you for sticking with me. Hopefully you're still here, but if you're not, I understand. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.